Joe in real life. Squat every day 107. So I've been lazy. I've been lazy the last month and really the last week. It's been worst. It's been cold. And when it's like the temperature is actually cold out, the best thing you could do is get warm, get really warm, warm your body up before you work out in it. But it's cold. So you don't want to, or at least I don't want to. I've been doing my regular warm-ups and thinking that it's enough, and it clearly hasn't been. Which isn't to say I've had bad work. The work's been good enough. But I know that I'm not shifting into that gear I need. So today, I'm going to pull my sled. It's cold still. I don't want to. Something about pulling that tire outside and loading it with the plates. It just feels nasty. It's just a nasty idea, and I don't want to do it. But I know I need it. And I'm going to use that as the primer for my entire warm-up. And then front squats. And then something heavy overhead. I don't know what yet. And that's today's plan. Relatively unambitious, if not for the temperature. And stay tuned for that, guys. Cheers. So this is my homemade sled. I've named him Jasper Wyman. That's the rope. So basically I took an old tire, I punched some holes in it with a garden shears. I bought a rope. That's the only thing I bought other than my plates, and put it through. A 45. I got another plate underneath. It's just a little 10. I drag it backwards around my cul-de-sac, which is exactly a third of a mile. Well, I switch between backwards and forwards. I use the speed bumps as points of demarcation, little markers. And when I'm on point and doing what I'm actually supposed to, that's how I should warm up when it's cold. Now, I've been lazy. It's the holidays. 'Tis the season. I keep saying that. But I've been eating candy and sitting on my ass a lot, watching various versions of A Christmas Carol, and generally just enjoying my fat life. But that's got to stop, man. That's got to stop. 2023 is going to be a good year for all of us. We got to reconnoiter and recommit. And another word, maybe, but I can't think of it. That's that. Stay tuned again. So pin squats aren't very fun to watch. I'm sure that's true. And it just seems like pure ego lifting, and maybe it even is. I get that too. But I'll make a deal with you. If you watch till the end of this video, I'll show you the two-hand anyhow, which is an old-timey like circus strongman lift. The title is pretty much self-explanatory. You get two weights overhead anyhow. There is a sort of set way to do it, but it's really only just a suggestion. It's one of the goofball fun lifts that I like to do, or rather I used to like to do. I haven't done it in almost 6 months. And I just really want to do it today. I don't want to do overhead pressing, so I'll do this instead, and it's fun. Now, maybe you're asking yourself right now, but Joe, why don't I just skip to the end of the video and see the fun lift instead of watching you do this bullshit ego lift inside your rack? You know what? Yeah, you could do that. You probably even should. I don't know. So, I guess in defense of pin squats then, before the two-hand anyhow, I really like pin squats, and I think they're very practical. But it's more of a hip and ab exercise than a proper squat. I build up to a new PR. This is 185 right here. I'm getting pretty high reps. I have it set down one lower notch than normal, which is maybe an inch and a half lower, maybe even just an inch, you know? What I'm trying to work on technique-wise is breaking at the hip and the knee at the same time. And so now I'm like roughly at my max, a little under my max, but roughly my max for a proper squat. And I'm just like working on foot position, working on brace, working on the hip and knee breaking at the same time, which I continually fail at. And getting used to heavier weight on my back, you know? Like trying to teach my nervous system that I'm not in extreme danger in this situation, which that's double-edged, you know, because you want your nervous system to trust your body in these positions, but you also don't want it to trust your body too much, right? Because then you'll end up doing something stupid. You'll end up swinging for something that you have no right hitting. Yeah, that's a real risk. And I'm not going to lie to you, that's a risk I've taken before and paid for in some pretty serious ways. Now, I'm older now and a little wiser, and I think that's one of the great, maybe one of the only benefits of getting older is your coward. Your coward ends up, you begin to realize that the part of you that's afraid isn't necessarily just a coward or an idiot. That erring on the side of caution sometimes is just smart thinking, you know? So that was 275. I'm taking big jumps. These are manageable. And you'll notice that after I'm done my reps, I'll kind of hang out and just like, that's like working the obliques, working the abs, pressing my brace out against my belt in every direction, and just trying to understand neurologically what the load is on me and what I can and can't get away with it. When I start making yoga videos, I'll be talking about this a lot in a wildly different context, but the same idea is true. It's like closing the neurological circuit of the human body, your human body, you know? Like if you were opening a jar of pickles, right? Like, and it's stuck, you know? So you're trying to twist the top to get it open. But at a certain point, no amount of force on the lid is going to open it. You have to squeeze the jar too. That's closing the circuit. And this metaphor, I guess, carries over to almost all of our lifts, almost anything we do athletically, and certainly a great deal in yoga. I like to think of yoga as a contact sport, a sort of fight that you engage in with just yourself. And it's contact because it's you contacting the floor. Sorry, I just walked into my garage. I got an echo chamber there. So yeah, this I think is my big one, 350. A weight I have no business having on my back, no business at all. I think I got 3, maybe 5 of these. I was pretty scared. Like, I'm in no danger. Like, all it does is come down onto the bars. But I was scared anyway. And that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to get rid of that fear. I'm trying to put it away, put it to bed. So, let's see. Yeah, ooh, so ugly, terrifying for me. And yeah, I broke the knee first. Second rep always looks better. Yeah, and I called it at 3. Yeah, I thought I might have gotten it. So yeah, anyway, you did it, guys. I'll show you the 2-hand anyhow next. And yeah, I'm pretty stoked. Okay, bonus features, the 2-hand anyhow. So the first part is getting the weight overhead with one hand. You can use 2 hands to get it up there. As you see, I've got the bar, 44 pounds, 20 kg. And then you support it with one hand. And all I'm doing here is practicing getting my other hand down to the ground. So you want, with the two hand anyhow, you're getting two weights overhead, each in separate hands. The first one can go up with two hands as long as you support it with one. And the other one has to come from the ground overhead. Really anyhow. I mean, it says it in the title, you know. And all I'm doing is warming up. I'm practicing the movement a little bit. I'm getting like the motor pattern in my body. I'm doing a little bit of that priming the circuit of the human body, you know. And next I'm going to practice the press. So it's like a faux kettlebell swing to a press, you know, and I think I've got the 35 here or maybe the 44. Yep. And like this isn't overly challenging for me. I'm just making sure my body understands the motion. And like I only had 10 or 15 minutes to film this all together. So I wasn't warm enough to really go hard with this. But yeah, and here we go. This is my attempt. 65 bar, 44 kettlebell. What is that? 110 total, 109 total. Getting it overhead. I think I failed the first time. And I feel, I don't know if this is the case, but I feel you have to get it with both arms in order for it to count. Maybe that's just a little dumb rule I made up all by myself. But, yep, this was my fail. So yeah, just trying to curl that kettlebell up, I lost balance. But I nailed it on the second one. Now, I didn't film both arms, I don't think. But you get the idea, you know? So here we go, second attempt. Pulling in the circuit of the human body. The demands are all over the place. It's a really awkward lift. It's super fun though. So, and the advantage to its awkwardness is that your pride stays out of it. And yep, we're doing the first part, and then you grab that kettlebell, and man, your body is thrown for a loop. Yeah, and it's, yeah, I struggle with the curl again. Yeah. And at this point, the press should be relatively easy. You can put a little body English on it too. Then that's the two hand anyhow. 109 pounds. See if you can beat my score. This is Joe in real life. I love you guys. Be good to each other. I'm going to try hard to do the same.